Domestic violence is one of those topics that's tough to talk about. Our first story focuses on a woman who is a true survivor of this horrendous abuse, and she's not afraid to speak out about it. Atara Estes shares her story with Jonathan Clark and her mission to sound the alarm against domestic violence.
Oh, Lord, don't give up. Don't you worry. You don't have to cry.
For Atara Estes, every song is a celebration of second chances and of new opportunities and of life itself, a life she came perilously close to losing one terrible September evening.
Went back to school, and that's where I met him, in class, doing accounting work.
Him is Courtney Everett. He and Atara begin studying together, then dating. Then one day she finds herself pregnant with his child. That's where the love story ends.
He wrote a letter saying fully that he wouldn't have anything to do with the child, even if it was his.
Everett disappears, only to resurface about a year and a half later, seemingly to establish a relationship with his daughter and reignite sparks between himself and Atara.
I was really hoping that it would come together. We would have the family life.
But Everett is preoccupied with getting Atara to cancel his child support payments. Atara doesn't notice this red flag. It's not even on her radar when Everett offers to pick her up from work one night in September 2002. It's Friday the 13th.
He says, "Oh, I have a surprise for you." I'm like, "Really? Oh, I love surprises. What is it? What is it?"
Everett brings Atara to the Jamestown Mall parking lot where he blindfolds her for the surprise. But the surprise Atara had in mind was nothing like the one her boyfriend had planned. Sure enough, when they drove off this lot, she'd get a surprise all right, but it wouldn't end in happiness or smiles.
And we proceed to go somewhere, and the only thing I can recognize by listening is the woods. You can tell you're out in the woods somewhere. It gets me out of the car and stands me not too far from the car door and asks me, "Am I ready?" And I say, "Yeah, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready." And the only thing I hear is this pop, and I feel this impact.
Atara's been shot in the back.
He comes over towards me and say, "I hate you," but then just drags me and throws me in the trunk of the car and drives off.
Her assailant drives frenetically through the streets. Meanwhile, she lies on plastic in the dark trunk, bleeding, going numb, listening to the traffic and praying for guidance.
I'm just really talking to God, and I'm like, "Lord, I can't die like this. I have a daughter that depends on me."
Atara's break comes at a North County gas station where Everett stops to refuel.
I hear the voice telling me, "Just reach down a little bit further."
Atara finds the latch just as Everett pulls into traffic. She stumbles out of the trunk, barely missing oncoming vehicles. 9 years after her ordeal, Atara returns with us for the first time to the place where she cheated death. The memories are painfully evident even now. It's 6 o'clock Sunday morning, and Atara Estes is doing what she does every Sunday morning, talking to a radio audience on her internet show, You Can Live Again, STAO Radio. The broadcast is the flagship of her outreach called Sound the Alarm.
It's so early in the morning for here that I may get more callers overseas.
Sound the Alarm raises awareness about domestic violence. Through the broadcast and on her website, domestic violence victims can find resources to help pull themselves out of their circumstances. For Atara, SDAO also is therapeutic, enabling her to fend off depression and control her life.
I'm sending encouragement to let you know you're not alone.
I'd like to introduce to all of you Ms. Atara Estes, and she's going to share with us today.
As Sound the Alarm grows, groups like this monthly women's group invite Atara to share her story.
I'm standing, but I feel this sensation hits me.
Her story is compelling and always sparks a meaningful discussion.
We're still dealing with this abusiveness, and they just think it's part of life. It's okay. You know, that's love.
Are so sweet.
Although an estimated 1 in 4 U.S. women have been victims of domestic abuse, conversation around the topic remains strangely quiet. Atara is trying to reverse that. Why are you spending your free time doing this?
Because my life got saved. Dating is a big responsibility. You can't take it lightly.
Knowing almost half of teen girls have been verbally, physically, or sexually victimized, Atara is turning much of her attention to adolescents like these Alton High School students who sit pinned to her every word.
But pay attention to who you're dating and learn more about them.
Teens equally are engaged at this smaller gathering in a local church basement. Among the older kids is Atara's daughter. That's her with a camera and passing her mother's hospital pictures around. The 10-year-old was a baby when her father shot her mother and struggles to make sense of that senseless act.
She's had repeated nightmares of getting killed or I'm getting killed, and that's not any way that a child needs to be coming up.
So that fewer kids may share her daughter's and her experience, Atara has become a sort of domestic violence avenger, courageously dragging a painful topic out of the shadows and into the light of day.
I believe that if there's one person who can regain their light, then I've done my part.